Hey everybody. Tonight I'm going to be making my recipe for collard greens in the Instant Pot. I looked at a ton of different videos and recipes online, took what I liked about each one, and came up with this simple, very tasty recipe. I hope you enjoy it because I think it's really fantastic. The ingredients are as follows: 2½ cups of chicken broth, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of minced garlic, 1½ teaspoons of adobo seasoning, 1 tablespoon of bacon grease, 1 jalapeno sliced, this is optional, ½ teaspoon of black pepper, 1 medium onion chopped, I like the white onion, 1 smoked ham hock, 1½ teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and about 4 pounds of untrimmed collard greens. What we're going to do is take a sharp knife and just remove the leaves from the main stem. Once all the leaves have been removed, just discard the main stem. It is not used. Sorry, my family's being loud. Please ignore them. Okay, now on these leaves, there's several different ways of doing this. I think I've seen a lot of people, they'll take a knife and just cut down the side of the main stem, just using the leaves. As you can see here, I just go about 2 inches up from the bottom of the leaf up the stem, and just get rid of the bottom part of the stem. As I trim them, I'm just going to put them flat in a stack on top of each other. Now, unfortunately, it was a few days before I could get to this video, and the collard greens sat in the fridge, and this particular leaf just did not look good, so I'm just going to get rid of it. You want nice, clean, healthy leaves.
Imagine finding this diary on your front steps. Well, that's how 50-50 begins. How 50-50 ends is even scarier.
Okay, now once you get a nice stack, you're going to take it and just roll it up, and then give them a chop about every 1.5 inches or so to make some bite-sized pieces. Okay, here's the 4 pounds of collard greens, all trimmed up and cut into bite-sized pieces. The next step is to soak them in salt water for about an hour. What this will do is remove all of the nasty dirt and debris off of it, and from what I've read, will help get rid of some bitterness in the collard greens. As you can see here, make sure you have plenty of water in a clean sink so you can swish them around to make any debris come loose and sink to the bottom. After about an hour, your water will be green and your collard greens need to be strained of the excess water. They're ready to go. Turn your Instant Pot on saute on the normal temperature setting. Once it says hot, it's ready to go. Now take the bacon grease and add it to the Instant Pot, allow it to completely melt. Now this is the 8-quart Instant Pot that I'm using.
You engineered the downfall of the Gould. This is very much the galaxy of your own making. And you must take responsibility. Attack them as quickly as possible with as much force as you can bring to bear.
Okay.
This is nothing short of an invasion. Like it or not, you're in a state of war.
Okay, once the bacon grease decides to cooperate and melt, add your chopped onions to the Instant Pot and stir to saute. Okay, add a little salt and a little pepper at this stage. Give them a good stir and continue to saute the onions in the bacon grease. Okay, after about 10 minutes or so, the onions are going to start to brown and caramelize. This is what we're looking for. Just give them a good stir and make sure none of it is stuck to the bottom. Okay, it's time to start adding the rest of the ingredients. The chicken broth. Give it a good stir to help release anything that may be stuck on the bottom from sauteing the onions. Okay, let's add the sugar, the garlic, the adobo seasoning, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, and the 1 sliced jalapeno. Now, if you don't like spicy, don't put the jalapeno in it. And this came out a little spicier than it did the first time I made this. And the reason being is that this is a half recipe. When I originally did this, I did 8 pounds of collard greens and used 1 jalapeno. So this is kind of double the jalapeno. So you can remove the seeds and make it a little better, but I like a little spice, so I left it in mine. Now, I'm adding the collard greens to this pot, and I'm going to push them down the best that I can. When I did a double batch of this, double this amount of collard greens, I had to put some in as much as I could, put the lid on it, wilt it down, take the lid off, add more, put the lid back on, wilt it down, and I had to do that until I got it all in there. Which I'll show you that here. I'll do the same thing. If you have a 6-quart Instapot, you're probably going to have to do this to wilt it down to get the top on so nothing's up against the top. This is an 8-quart, so this half recipe fits just right. Now the Instapot is still on saute, so it's continually heating, creating steam, so it's going to wilt those down because we're kind of trapping the steam into it right now. But it shouldn't seal because the vent's left open on it. Alright, let's take a look. It's been about, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes, and you see how they've wilted down. And at this point, if you had a 6-quart, you would just basically put more in it and put the lid back on it. Now just move the stuff, the collard greens to the side, and put the ham hock down there. And now it's time to pressure cook it. So let's get the lid back on it and put the valve in the ceiling. Now what I'm doing is I turned off the saute by hitting cancel, and now I'm going to set it for 1 hour pressure cooking at high pressure. As you can see here. Okay, after the 1 hour is up, just quickly flick the pressure valve to release and let it completely release all pressure. It's probably about 15 minutes. Okay, the pin has dropped. On my 8 quart, it's the red pin next to the pressure relief valve. So let's open up and take a look. They look really good. Cooking it for an hour makes it extremely tender. They don't fall apart, but they are really, really soft. So if you like yours a little more chew to them, a little more resistance when you bite into them, try 45 minutes rather than an hour. I've always done an hour, and I like them this way. Now there's the ham hock, and it's literally totally falling apart, so you have to be really careful when we remove it, which we're going to do here. And we're going to put on a plate, take all the skin off of it, all the bones and gristle, remove all those, throw those away. Then we're going to shred up the meat and put it back in the Instapot, which you're about to see here. Alright, there's all the meat, nicely pulled apart. So let's add it back to the Instapot and give it a good mix. Alright, there you go. So let's get a bowl and have a taste.
What's this? Zombie flare?
That looks so good.
Look at this.
Look at that pot liquor. That's some of the best part. That looks amazing. So good. But it just needs a little something. I think it needs some Frank's hot sauce on there. Yeah. Now it's perfect. Let's give this a mix and have a taste test and see how it came out.
I can feel it in my gut. Feels like a pit in my stomach.
Oh, that was not good. Becky.
We're gonna crush this.
I'm not too sure. Let me try another taste, just to make sure it came out right. Oh yeah. That stuff right there is great. So give this recipe a try and let me know what you think in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this. This is just too good. And as always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's always greatly appreciated. And thank you for watching my video and videos.